went to film school, so you don't have to, and today we're going to talk about how to set up a camera digitally to make sure that it is ready for shooting. Last video we discussed how to set up a camera physically and make sure that everything is in place to begin shooting. After you've securely mounted your camera, you need to insert your media and format your media. This is an SD card, a CFast, or a CF Express depending on your camera. Then you're going to want to set your resolution. Will you be shooting Ultra HD, 4K, standard definition? This depends on the needs of your project and also where it's going to be distributed. It's important to choose codec, which stands for compression and decompression, and this has to do with how much information you want to retain. If you want to retain a lot of information, ProRes or other raw forms will be very data heavy, and if you want different or less information, you can choose H.264, H.265, or other methods. Then make sure you choose your frame rate. Your frame rate is important because it determines how you're going to play something back and how you want your footage to look. Usually we shoot at 24 frames per second. You can also choose if you want progressive or interlaced scanning. Usually for film we use progressive, and for broadcast we use interlaced. Then you set up your major exposure tools. First of all, your ISO. ISO for film is usually set to the native ISO of your camera. Whether that is 800 or there is dual base ISO, then that would be what you would set. Next, you can check your shutter speed or shutter angle. These are usually twice the frame rate, so if we're shooting at 24 frames per second, our shutter speed is going to be 1/48. Shutter angle and shutter speed are two different ways of saying the same thing. Shutter angle would be 180 degrees. Then you can choose your color profiles or your LUT. If you're shooting in log format, you can choose to output to your external monitor at Rec. 709. Following, you can white balance your camera or middle gray balance your camera. Finally, you can set your aperture and your focus. Usually, in most professional cinema cameras, this is done on the actual lens. Also, please make sure to balance your camera for every single shot that you compose, because usually it's off balance and this can really throw you off. Finally, for every new shot that you compose after you've set up all these basic tools, you can use your exposure tools such as waveform monitors, false color, or histograms depending on what you have accessible. Having this checklist and going through the basics every single time is very important to make sure you don't miss a step and that you're ready to shoot and you don't have to worry afterwards.